Let's go ahead and style this bottom section and make it look good. So if you still have the emphasis class for these for this text here, let's go ahead and put it back. So go over here, Sublime Text, delete this emphasis class right there, save it, and actually we're going to be using a lot, or working in index.html, custom.css a lot in these next couple lessons. So let's go ahead and go to View, go to Layout, 2 columns, slide that custom.css over. So now you have index.html, custom.css. Let's take out this span here, or these 2 spans. Save that, go back to Google Chrome, reload. All right, we're back to plain Jane. Now let's start styling this. So first thing we're going to do is bring in this get involved H2 here. And if you remember from the grid section, or the grid lesson, columns are the only thing that's allowed to be immediate child elements of rows. So you can tell this is true here. So instead of putting the H2 in between these 2 divs, we're going to put it right here. So let's go ahead and delete that. Put H2 get involved. While we're doing that, let's go ahead and change each of these H2s down here to H3s so that we can style them easier. Save that. Go back over here, reload the page. All right, now let's start by styling this get involved here. So let's take a look at what we got going on here. So we have a different color, different font family here, different font size, and this cool little text transform here. So let's go ahead and grab this color, and this is a hexadecimal color. So in previous lessons, I've been talking, color red, green, white, so words. Here, this is a hexadecimal value, and this is another way to choose a certain color. So copy this. Let's go ahead and inspect the element over here. Let's give it the same color. So we have that. We also know that this, from looking over here, is the same font as up here. So for our site, it's Arvo. And just to make sure, let's go ahead and inspect. Where did we put that? Here we go. Font family Arvo. Let's grab it here. Let's go back down here and inspect this element. Say font family. All right, so paste it in there. Font family Arvo, Courier, Serif. We know we want text align, center, and for now let's leave it at that. So let's come over here, and actually we know we want this whole div here centered by looking at it. So we want this whole div here centered by looking at it. And another thing I'm going to point out is that you see that the paragraph here and down here looks similar. Same with the H2 up here and up here looks similar. So I'm going to go ahead and give this div a class. Let me give this div, we have our first class of container, and to give it another div, another class, just push spacebar. Let's do get involved. And this is going to allow us to give this div a class of get involved. And then when we create this div up here, we'll give it the class of get involved, and its H2 tags and its paragraph tags will have the same styling. And we won't have to rewrite the styling rules again. We'll just have them both as the same div class of I'm sorry, not get involved, home page. So home page, and then we have everything in home page needs to be centered. So dot home page text align center. Now dot home page h2. Let's look at the properties we gave it. So we gave it color, font family. We don't need text align. But what we can do is text transform. This is a pretty cool property, so we're going to tell it to make all letters uppercase. So we have these things. Just go ahead and, you can go ahead and copy them all. Copy, paste. We'll get rid of text align. Let's indent both of these. Save it. Let's reload this page. And nice. So we have everything centered here. Now let's go ahead and style these H3 tags here. So inspect these, and we can create our own style for them. But since we're building this 1 million line site or looking site out, we'll just go ahead and grab what we have over here. So font size is different than the last one. However, we still have to change font family, text transform, and uppercase. So, or I'm sorry, text transform and color. So we have text transform, we have color was E74C3C, and we have the same font family, which was Arvo, Courier, and Serif, correct? All right, so we have font size here of 24 pixels. Let's make it a little bigger. Let's go 26 pixels. Up here looks pretty good, 30 pixels. And that's what they have for us. Let's just go ahead and make sure of that. Okay, so we can see the difference here. Now, let's grab this style. This is for all the H3s. So we're going to do dot homepage H3. Paste them in. Should work either way, but let's just make sure. Save it like that. Reload the page. All right, we're getting somewhere. Now, if you noticed, this homepage H2 and this homepage H3 has similar CSS properties here. Text transform uppercase, font family, Arvo, Courier, Serif, color, same. So we talked about it earlier, you can combine HTML selectors in one rule. So let's go ahead and do that. That way, if we want to change the color, we don't have to do it for both. We can just do it in one rule. So we'll do all H2s that are in a div with a class of homepage and all H3s that are in a div with a class of homepage. They have these three properties. All right, and let's keep that font size 30 pixels as we talked about before. Okay, so we can go ahead and delete those two. So all H2s and H3s with a div class of homepage have these properties here, and then they each have their individual font sizes. So save that. Shouldn't see any change. All right, now we're going to style this paragraph right here. So font size and font weight. We've talked about font weight before. Last time we did 100 up top here, but let's go higher than that. So let's go to 300, and then font size. Currently, paragraph is at not seeing it, so let's do 20 pixels. Close enough, 21 pixels. So save that, and we want all these paragraphs to look like that. So font weight 300, font size 21 pixels. And you know, you're starting to become real familiar with CSS rules and the selectors that go along with them. And as you can see, there's a bunch of different properties of text and fonts that we can play with, and I'll give a link to a list of those down below. Forgot to change the font weight. 300, boom. All right, beautiful. They're all lined up, looking good. The only thing we have left to do for right now in this lesson is to change this link color here. So let's inspect this element, and we just need to change the color, and it's the same color as the other two. So copy this, inspect that element, color. All right, beautiful. So any link in a div with a home page or a class of home page, let's give it that same color. Nice. So this section looks a lot like this section now. And next we will get into putting this line there.